A great Monday morning to you. This weather video driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, and 802 Honda, all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. A lot of complexity to this one, boy. This is the southern sort of part of the polar jet that's split in two, and these two are going to interact and try to phase together, and meanwhile blow up a pretty good nor'easter. It's going to track south of Nantucket, Long Island. This is phasing because it's becoming what we call negative tilt. When you have a negative tilt trough, the two systems phase together, spin up a nor'easter. This nor'easter looks like it's going to go right into the western area of Nova Scotia, but the models have been inching all weekend long, further to the north and further to the west, and just wants to dump over northern New England. And indeed, we're going to see a long fuse snowfall that's going to last several days. In fact, the flakes don't get out of here until this upper level trough pushes out of here, and that may not be until somewhere along about Saturday morning. But the main part of this storm, this is going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. Right now, a great day in progress, a little ridge of higher pressure. It's giving us some nice clearing skies east of the Green Mountains, and this is eroding to the west as well. Enjoy it today. Temperatures are going to be warming up for around 40 degrees or 40 to 45 in many of our valleys, and this is good enough for a sap run as well. Okay, this storm system is going to push to the north and east as described. This upper level trough shortwave here in the northern stream is going to interact with that. Let's take a look at the computer modeling that best explains it. All right, we're looking at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon with a time switch now. This is the evolution of the nor'easter, so keep your eyes on this jet stream energy here. Goes off the coast. This upper level trough here is going to try to connect up and phase together and have what we call a negative tilt. And that is very favorable for nor'easters that kind of hug the coastline and take a track like yo. So here's the model progression. So the model progression takes this and starts to bring in some precipitation into southwestern Vermont. That's going to happen as early as the overnight period tonight. And of course that spreads northward for tomorrow morning, so expect some travel issues, slick travel. And you can see that a pretty good chunk of precipitation, greater than 0.15 of an inch, is now sort of overlapping into Vermont. Originally this was going to stay out of our hair, but this is now a change. So that westward progression of the track of the low and the trough to the west is starting to pull that back in toward our region. And you can see here the heaviest precipitation has swung north, but it kind of comes back at us a little bit here, and this here lies the problem. So our nor'easter here is way out over toward Nova Scotia, but a lot of its moisture is being pulled backwards. And herein lies the problem for kind of a long fuse snowfall. And again, you're seeing greater than 0.15 of an inch total precipitation. And it's going to be quite a few days before the last snowflakes get out of here. This is Friday evening at 8 o'clock. And finally, by Saturday, a little ridge of higher pressure will start to occur, and the storm has finally relented. Now, this is the European model ensemble, and basically, we're staying below the 0-degree center line. This is very important. Temperatures that get close to this increase the wet snow loading potential. So 5 degrees, but that's not until way down the road. We're talking on the 19th here, the 18th, 19th. So during the storm here, the heavier part of the storm, temperatures are going to be running somewhere between 5 and 10 degrees negative Celsius. So that's good news. That's below freezing. That stays below freezing. In terms of thicknesses, you can see we start out today with relatively warm. We go back down in temperature, and this is also supporting during the time of the storm, the front end of the storm, the heaviest part of the storm, no real wet snow loading, at least aloft. Again, this is centered on Springfield, which would have probably the warmest temperatures along that southeastern and eastern side of the Green Mountain State. And just for kicks, the ensemble models are pretty much on top of it here for somewhere centering around 5 inches. Now, this is centered on Montpelier, but again, elevation is going to play a huge role. Our next potential for larger snowfall, probably not until the 21st of March. Okay, this is a total snow accumulation based on 10-to-1 snow to water ratio. So by Tuesday evening, we're looking at 3 to locally 6 inches. And then overnight, tomorrow night, Tuesday night, you can see it's locally up to 6. Continuing that by the end of the day on Wednesday at 8 p.m. in the evening on Wednesday, you can see these amounts starting to pick up across the Champlain Valley, parts of the Green Mountains. And again, this is the European model with its trying to capture its westward shift, and that's a lot of snow. Now, the model run before that, you can see, was looking more like this. So this is quite a change. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.